Hi, I'm Rosie.
Yay, I'm back on YouTube.
Welcome to my channel. We're looking to what's going on intuitively in the world, from the political to the personal.
You can book personal readings on my website, rosieinsights.com. Rosie and Karina, News Digest. Rosie Insights started about 7 years ago as Rosie Psychic Investigator, looking at news related to the Trump administration. Over the years, I have followed the practice of doing research about what's going on in the news, making that a core feature of my content. As of November 7th, 2024, I have had Karina as my daily guest slash partner for the series after the election. We are committed to working as a pair on this series at least until this election situation is resolved. Karina lives in Arizona, loves crystals, and is a certified aromatherapist. She is working on her website for private client healing appointments. We'll share her info once it's ready. Karina started as Rosie's, meaning my client, about 5 years ago, and then we became friends and started sharing the conversations we were having privately already. This channel is about looking at current news and events through an intuitive lens and sharing intuitive information. This content is for entertainment purposes only. Trust your intuition. This channel is just one source. Do your research, trust your intuition. You are the master of your own beliefs. What we won't do: conform. We do not conform with what other channels say necessarily. This is an independent channel, as is theirs. If you have a question about what you heard on another channel, ask that channel. On to today's episode. If you like this video, subscribe and press like. Thank you for watching.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Rosie and Karina, Psych Investigators. So, hello, Karina.
Hello. Hello, hello.
So, Karina and I are here today, a little bit later than the last couple of days, but it's okay. And we had, Mike Johnson. Turns out Mike Johnson won the House re-election. There were some GOP holdouts they went over to his side, but we'll talk about it. There's like a few other things, but first, I wanted Karina to share, because we of course we talked before we talk live, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I had a really interesting dream, and I feel like everybody has a different modality, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
her is like really fascinating when she has these dreams. I'll go ahead, Karina. Okay,
Okay.
take your time.
So last night when I went to sleep, um, I fell asleep and had this perpetual all night dream.
Mm,
And every time I tried to wake up, I did wake up
mm,
and try to come out of it, I would go back into it.
uh-huh.
So what it was basically I was running from room to room to room to room, and I was making deals. Like it was like, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, you need to do this, you need to come over here. And it was just running from room to room to room to room all night long. No matter what I did, I couldn't get out of it. So when I was finally waking up from it this morning, before I did, I had this actually, no, I woke up and had this sense that about 3 in the morning that I think Mike Johnson might get in there, because I felt like that's what was happening. I was just being shown that there was deals behind. I felt like there was phone calls and everything going on last night. I could feel the chaos. So I just wasn't thinking too much about that afterwards. And then about 1:30 this afternoon, my stomach just started to do flip-flops, and I could tell something was going on. And then I sat down to eat some apples and cheese and pretzels, and all of a sudden I had this vision and about part of the dream.
Mm,
And I saw this calendar, and it was like one of those really big calendars that, they keep up in an office that you write on and tear off the page. And
mm,
so it was big, and it dropped right in front of me on the table, and it made this loud bam. So it was a big calendar.
mm,
And then I saw hands come onto the calendar and just move their hands all over the calendar and wiped out all the days. So there
mm,
was no dates on the calendar. And I was like, what the heck is that? But it was like, don't pay attention to the dates.
mm,
That's what was screaming in my head. But then as I'm looking at this calendar with no dates and I get that message, then there was this massive law book that
mm,
bam dropped onto the calendar, and it was
mm,
open.
mm,
And I didn't really pay attention to the pages or anything like that. But then here comes the Constitution, and that falls onto the law book.
mm,
That's opened as well. And then it was the scale of justice came on to the Constitution. That dropped on top of that. And then on top of the scale of justice was a pair of handcuffs.
mm, mm,
And that was how the succession went. And what I was being told was just let go of all dates,
mm,
quit focusing on dates.
mm,
And actually, it even was events because for me, and I was telling Rosie this, no matter what dream, what vision, what comes up, what happens, it always takes me to inauguration with Kamala in it, and to not worry about anything
mm,
until we see that.
mm,
Because, like, Rosie and I have been picking up this whole time, it's going to be just chaos, mayhem. Things might not look normal, they might not be what we think. So it's just a repetitive message over and over, the
mm,
same thing for me.
mm,
So I thought I'd share that.
mm, mm,
It might help people stay out of fear as these events happen. And you know what? We did see chaos, and I still believe there was chaos. And I don't think it's over. I
mm,
don't think it's over. I've seen Hakeem Jeffries in there. I can't see it any other way.
mm,
So until we get farther down the road,
mm,
I don't think we should panic and worry about this stuff.
mm, mhm. That's right. So, all right. So that's great, Karina. That's great. And it's very interesting, right? All of this. And I wanted to,
Mm-hmm.
when Karina and I were talking, I was sharing with her that today I wasn't I was honestly not watching the news or anything. And I was like, Queenie, doing other things, other running out, long story, many things. But the point is, I wasn't paying attention. And I feel good. I feel really good. I feel so calm. And it's as if I can't, even though, of course, I do look at the news to see what's going on and to talk, right? That's how
Yeah.
the topics are, they come about. I just don't like, because I receive messages like, oh my God, like they went in, like, and I'm just like, I don't really, I'm not, this is, it's almost like I feel like I'm in a train and everything that is happening is like you're passing through.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna stay. It just doesn't touch me at all. And I still, as I was out, I had to go run an errand, and I was like, do I see? I still don't feel like Trump. I just don't see it. So it's all passing, and a lot of it is like whatever machinations they have. And you mentioned, Karina, like the whole thing with like that they could be, there's all these deals happening behind the scenes, but I still don't feel like they're gonna get away with it. I don't not get away
Mm-mm.
with it. Like they just, I don't see. It's like much ado about nothing, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, so,
I still
right.
see them getting very, very close. It's always that end scene of them grasping, grasping, because
Mm,
they're so close. They're so close. They
mm,
feel like they can touch it, and then it just all slips away.
mm,
So it's just always the same thing. I can't see anything different.
mm, mm. That's right. That's right. Yeah, no. So anyway, so it's just to go back here, see these things passing, and they just, I don't, I just don't. But I guess, honestly, yesterday when I did the channeling, it was kind of like, I almost don't remember exactly what I said, but it still feels like I'm not paying attention right now. I'm not fixating and I'm not thinking because it's saying that what matters is what is the events themselves is the thing that I do think that's going to happen. All the stuff we
Right,
talked about at the end, because the how it's almost it matters less.
right.
What we see is that I don't see him. I mean, I just still and we checked right, you and I would check double triple checked.
Yep, yep,
So, all right, but
yeah,
let's do the protection, Corina, and then we'll start covering some topics, okay?
yeah.
All right, so I'd like to ask for protection, a beautiful yellow light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I fill my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I'd like to ask that information come only from the highest sources that I create the good, only the good, and so it is. Okay, so let me pause here to move to the next subject. Okay, so this is the news about Mike Johnson. So Louisiana Republican Mike Johnson was reelected House Speaker on Friday on a first vote, overcoming skepticism about his leadership from some in his party. Johnson clinched the post after two lawmakers who initially voted against him changed their votes. President-elect Donald Trump endorsed Johnson this week and urged Republican lawmakers to back him, in part so the party could move quickly to enact Trump's agenda. Members of Congress have been sworn in, and then the House has adopted a package of rules governing procedures. Okay, so all right, so the question is, what happened, right? What happened here?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we kind of already looked into it before, but I think this is the time, right, to do it again. So
Yes,
I'm gonna stop
sure.
there. Okay, so what happened? Let's see here. What happened with Mike Johnson being the speaker? Oh, I have to say this. It's so interesting, okay? This is
Mm-hmm.
interesting, actually. So I ordered some food. I pick it up. I went to pick it up around the corner. And as I was walking there, I had to go to the ATM to get a little cash and to pay for it. I had this flash of Mike Johnson because this relates to this. And he said, oh, and I saw this thing. It said Mike Johnson, he was like, I'm not gonna do what they asked me to do. And and then it said that he's like, I'm not gonna do it. It's almost as if whatever he has been tasked with doing acts, I don't know exactly from by Trump, but he's not going to do it. Kind of like I feel like he mentioned in my thing is that I'm gonna be like oh my God, what's the name of the VP of Trump? Mike Pence.
Mike Pence.
I'm going to be like I'm not gonna go through with it. So
Mm-hmm.
that's been the plan all along, kind of feeling. So that's what I got about him. So yeah, so that's what I got, Granted, that he's
Mm-hmm.
not gonna do whatever I don't know exactly what Trump wants him to do later, but there's of course shenanigans as usual. But
Right.
it's not gonna happen. Whatever it is not going to happen. It's saying declare a state of emergency of some sort. That's what I'm getting. So, okay,
Mm-hmm.
so let's go back here. Why did Trump? Because clearly because of Trump, right? Trump said pushed people to because that's right. Trump is very nervous. That's it. He's very
Right.
nervous because
Yeah.
he knows he could because he didn't win, right?
Right. He
He
can
could
feel it.
lose, and he has to. This has to be very tight. This and it's interesting saying this, Rosie. It's the one time. Why is it? Have you noticed the party of and the radicals that are always creating chaos? Why do they suddenly want order?
Exactly.
Because they want to legitimize their chicanery, right? Their bullshit or
Right.
whatever. So so that's that. That's what I saw. And then okay, so then tell me anything else we need to know here. Please tell us. Wave. Okay, so the wave of yeah, I see it's interesting. I see this it shows me a surfers and the wave that
Hmm.
is so big that crushes them all. So
Hmm.
they it's like they thought they could surf this wave or that the wave but the wave is much bigger than them. And
Right.
and that's what it is. So why did those that's right. That's right. Trump told them that they have to go, oh yeah, let's be nice once, right? Why would the chaos agent wants order again? It's because of that.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, it sounds like Trump has plans because when I was walking, like I said, when I was walking and I saw that the thing from Mike Johnson, whatever it was, what are Trump's plans? Close the Congress, shut it down. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
Close Congress and shut it down. Okay. So is Trump, oh, that's it. Okay. You know how he's planning a rally on the 19th of January? The plan really is to take the same thing that happened on January 6th, but
Right.
so that he can go inside whatever the house or something and then hold people hostage. I'm not kidding, actually. So so what is it?
Yeah. Like the
It's
murder. Yeah.
forcing. Okay, so Mike Johnson, tell me what is it? Do you have it? What deal is it? We're not gonna sign. We refuse to sign the there's a certification. But Mike Johnson, isn't he the fake president? Yes, he is. Do you know
Yeah.
who? Oh,
Hmm.
because he's a speaker. Oh, because the speaker. Oh, it makes sense. The Speaker of the House. I do think, Karina, that maybe he was told something actually, because you know how he's on the line for the presidency. There's something there. I don't know exactly the details, but
Well, yeah, it goes with what we were talking earlier about him and how he's might be cooperating a little bit already.
oh,
And
that's right.
so,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So, okay, so then that's right. Oh, yeah, because
So
I
he
see
has to
that
be careful what he does. Yeah.
that's right. I see that he's like, but you have to sign here, and he's like, no, I'm not going to sign it. But for Trump, okay,
Right.
so signing
Right.
meaning something that will help Trump, and he's like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Hmm.
And then they're shocked, but then he has the power that there's because I feel like there's one crucial moment. I don't know exactly where it is or what it is, honestly, where he could change the game and
Hmm.
give it to Trump, but he won't do it. That's what I think.
Yeah. He
Uh,
can't do it. He
what do you
can't
mean?
do it
What do you mean he can't do
because
it?
he's working. He's already cooperating. He can't do it for Trump.
Mm, okay,
You
but
know,
I don't
he's
know.
already
I
so
don't know. Okay, I don't know if I don't know what this cooperating with. Okay, does it make
I
sense? Doesn't matter.
he
Collaborating with who?
with law enforcement.
Okay,
And so he
about
does
Trump.
know enough that he can't carry out Trump's wishes because they're watching him.
Oh, I see.
He's
Okay.
already under investigation himself. He has
Mm-hmm.
he's been looked into
Mm, mm. Okay, you think okay. I don't
himself.
know.
Yeah.
I do think that, but there were other instances. I remember during the Biden like presidency that he's done things that were not very pro-Trump. I don't remember the details, but didn't he? I just because I wasn't. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to the exact things, but I remember that he did not come across as super pro-Trump
Mm-mm.
in all the ways. So that's right. So he has to, has to keep up with the facade and all that. It's not to say that he's not a nice guy or anything like that. It's just that in this context, he may be a decent, right? May have done
Right.
for
Right.
whatever reason the right thing. So, right?
It's
So,
kind of
okay.
like a Mike Pence situation. You
Yes.
know, he's not a decent guy, but when
Mm-hmm.
push comes to shove, it's either his butt or, you know, Trump's, and he's going to cover his.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, all right. But this is it, right? Let me just pause 1 second here and then come back. Okay, so I paused the recording to go to the next subject. But the real subject that I was going to ask, I asked her Karina. I showed her this, and I said, "Is it okay if we talk about it?" She said, "Yes." So we could talk about it. Just not just because it said, it's I'm not. I don't want to put it on you, Karina. But
No, we
like,
have spirit. We have
yeah.
spirit.
And because immediately I got this. I got that this was part of the reason how they were manipulating him. So, guys, this is a true story, it looks like. Okay. It's like, wow, I can't even believe the whole thing is so yuck. So
Yeah.
so this is a story now. So Mike Johnson, okay, where's the oh, this is the one. Okay, so how is it that Republicans are always talking about pedophilia, but thought a 24-year-old kid named Mike Johnson who had no bank accounts in his name, adopting an 11-year-old kid was normal. There's nothing normal about that. It's creepy AF. So now it's not just a story. Like so here is so apparently he would tell people he was adopted. He adopted this person.
Hmm.
But no, it's not true. So here we have questions for Mike Johnson, and we are going away. Let's start with the adoption of the 14-year-old child who has since vanished into adulthood in anonymity, conveniently for Mike Johnson. Where is this person now? So it turns out, okay, here it is. He took a 14-year-old child into his home, did not adopt him, did not give him an education, and then put him out on the street to be arrested 13 times. Where is the boy's photo? So it it seems it is a very strange thing. Okay, so right, so it's very so where oh here it is.
There it is.
Okay, so House Speaker Mike Johnson adopted 4-year-old son Michael Terrell James was arrested in LA for running an illegal cannabis business in possession of brass knuckles. His rap sheet goes back to 2003. I'm tracking additional details on just why a senior member of the Republican Party had to meet with the son after LA authorities alerted Speaker Johnson following the arrest. So, okay, so here is uh oh, has not been okay. So the whole thing, okay, so
Go back to that, what you just had on screen.
here it is. You don't you see it? Okay, this one.
Mike Johnson said he and his son monitor each other's porn usage. And yeah, it's exactly as weird as it sounds.
And when you think
That
about
just
it in
explains
context,
everything we were just going to discuss.
right? I don't know, again, I don't want to like don't ask me to see these things because every people can put two and two together, right? Like
Oh, God. Yeah.
so he did not it's like what is that? You put a child in your I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. And has never been and think about it, it has never been investigated,
I
right?
know.
It's so it's really like so let me ask here Spirit. So is this what okay, let me ask. Is this the propaganda, not propaganda, the compromat, the Republican, the
Mm,
yes. So yeah,
yes. Hmm.
yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Hmm.
And so and right, oh my
Yeah.
God. And it's
And I'm
wow.
just going to say it, but they're showing me a direct, like a correlation between, not that they're connected, but it's the same essence. The Matt Gates and the kid that
Yes,
yes. And
exactly.
then Mike Johnson and this kid, yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So this is it's
Yeah.
wow. Okay, I don't guys, you know, as you know, I don't like this subject. It's not, I don't need to know the details. But it's saying in some ways it is a form of human trafficking, right? You bring a child like this person, it's not, it's a minor into your house. What the hell are
Right.
you doing with them? And you haven't adopted them? Like it's just very bizarre, the story.
Yes.
And because imagine, okay, just imagine if Biden's family had done something like that. Like no, you would never nobody talks about this stuff. It's
I
so
know.
strange, isn't it?
It is. It
Oh,
is.
because the people that it's valuable information for people who manipulate him. So let me ask a
Right.
question.
Because
Yes.
if he took a child in like that
Mm-hmm.
and wanted to do the best thing for that child, you
Mm-hmm.
would give them a loving home. You would adopt them if you could. If you couldn't, that's okay. But you would still give them a loving home. And for me, I would want that child to be educated.
Mm.
He didn't even educate the child. It said no, no adoption, no education, nothing. So what is that? What is he doing with the kid? What do
Mm-hmm.
you got a kid for?
So
Do right by the kid, or what are you doing with that kid? Ugh.
wow, wow. And
Yeah,
you see the thing about the investor you said now, because when you were talking earlier about you think that he's quote unquote flipped. But I see that the whoever this the agency may be, they're saying we know that they have been blackmailing you about the son. They
Mhm.
like doesn't make sense. So it's part of like the whole right.
Yeah,
That's what I got.
yeah,
That's what I got. So
yeah,
okay, wow, interesting, interesting,
yeah.
interesting.
That's why I think, you know what? Actually, Rosie, you just said it. That's why he had to flip.
That's right.
That's
Because
why
and I
he had
see
to
that,
flip. That's what I just heard. He,
but
that
in
was
a
the
way, I
reason.
think he feels relief. At least this is probably better. Like he feels relief at least that it's the feds and not the other whatever mom, whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So, all right. Oof. All right. So let's stop here because there's other topics. Just a little bit more. Okay. 1 second. Okay. So there were some rumors, I guess, that Bashar al-Assad was poisoned in Moscow. And oh, okay. So Snopes is the fact-checking website. And and by the way, I know for example today people send me this thing saying like, oh, apparently Mark Rutte is in Camp David. I don't think there's any I prefer when people send me things that it's has been verified because otherwise it's a rumor. And I
Hmm.
don't like so it's not valid really. So right, at least from where I start, my starting point. But anyway, so the point is that there was this lengthy piece of information about how he was likely poisoned. It was like a video somewhere I was listening to it and they said, oh, that he was eating something and then he suddenly like started his air passages were tight. It was something like he started coughing and all that, and then he went home and then this and then he felt better. And it's like, first of all, I think when people get poisoned it is like they lose it's really hardcore.
Yeah.
And there were too many details, it was too complete the story. And then as I was telling Corinne just now about this supposed assassination that nothing happened to him. There was a rumor that Putin and his people put out about Bashar al-Assad, and I got that saying that Putin is gave it's like it was his way of sending a message to Assad, saying to him something to the effect of, "You better give me the money, or this is what's going to happen to you," because we know that he stole billions of dollars from the central bank of Syria. Sorry,
Hmm.
and he took it to Russia, of course, right? But and this is the thing that I never understand because Russia. So he took the money to Russia, right? And in Russia, what happens is that like it's all kleptocracy and it's like a mob. So you have to give all your money to Putin. Like the
Right.
idea is that he could take your money whenever he wants. And I think
Yep.
this is what happened here. That like I think what's happening is Putin is asking Assad for the money, like almost
Hmm.
like I get to see a figure something like 400 million. He's like, you know what? Give me 375 and you can keep the rest.
Yeah.
And Assad's like, what? It's my money. And Putin's like, no, is it really your money? It's the money of the Syrian people that you stole. You were like a bad dictator, remember? He's saying, and this is what I got, that this is
Yeah.
like almost like a death sentence issue.
Hmm.
And he's furious Assad because he doesn't, and I see that he doesn't want to give, and I see there's even like money in Switzerland or something that he does not want to give away to Putin. And Putin is basically like threatening his life and everything. So, but
Yeah.
I don't feel bad for them. It's like it should be the example. This is what happens when you make a deal with the devil,
Yep.
right? The devil is gonna come to collect. And that's what's happening.
Exactly. It's
So
like you can't play with these people or think that you can run and
yeah.
hide in
Hmm.
Russia
Hmm.
because Putin's just as evil as you, if not worse. What do you think he's going to
Yeah,
do? You
exactly.
know, when it comes to push comes to shove, they're all going to eat each other. That's
Mm-hmm.
what rats, they do that. They,
Mm-hmm.
you know, no one they have to fight each other because now who's going to be the leader of all the money and the
Mm-mm.
world and all this? It's like they're such idiots sometimes.
Mm-mm.
So, yeah, it's either give me your money or see the
Mm-mm.
view out this window.
That's right. So anyway, so that's it, right, Quinn? That's what we got both
Yeah.
talked about, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me go now to the next topic. Now, another piece of news is that a judge orders Trump to be sentenced in hush money case on January 10th, but says he won't be incarcerated. Judge Juan Marchen denied Trump's motion to dismiss the case against him, said he could appear in person or remotely for the sentencing, The judge presiding over the hush money case denied it. Okay. So so while his court, as a matter of law, must not make any determination on sentencing prior to giving the parties and defendants opportunity to be heard, it seems proper at this juncture to make known the court's inclination not to impose uh, any sentence of incarceration, a sentence authorized by the conviction, but one the people concede they no longer view as practicable recommendation. In other words, he read the writings on the wall. He saw the Supreme Court situation, and he figures he can't. The law can't be applied to him.
Right.
Really, it's like he's above. Essentially, Trump is above the law. So the question is, let's just ask, what is going to happen in this sentencing, in Trump's sentencing? Okay, so what so the January 10th, that's the sentencing. So what is going to happen in the Trump sentencing?
Hmm. Oh.
You see something, Karina? Go ahead.
I don't really see much. It's like, is it going to happen? I think it's meant to happen, but I can't see it going like happening on the 10th. Maybe that's it. Is it just not happening on the 10th? I don't oh, there, Toby's got something to say about it.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't see it happening on the 10th.
Hmm. No, I do. I see something happening quickly and Trump celebrating because that's the judge basically said that he's not going to sentence him to anything. So this has already been kind of that's what he said here in the
Yeah,
writing.
yeah,
But what I got is this that Trump, oh wow, I'm celebrating, and then 2 days like he's gone, like something much bigger catches him.
right.
Yeah, I feel like it's related to the election. So he
Yeah.
just really thought he could get away with everything.
Hmm.
Something hits him. So it doesn't. It doesn't seem like, does it make sense what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
whatever it is, it's not a big deal. Like, I hate to
Mhm.
say it. If it is something, it's just not anything significant.
Mhm.
So, because I agree, it's like the not what he's going to get. There's more to it. Not with Judge Mashawn, but it's the bigger picture that gets Trump, not these little things. So,
Mhm.
whatever does happen, I don't feel like it's very significant. He may
Mhm.
get sentenced, but like, what's the big deal if he's not incarcerated? Maybe that's why I'm not. It's like no big deal to me.
Nothing happens. Nothing like
Yeah,
because it's the judge already said what's going to happen. And
that's
so,
probably
and
why
I
it
agree,
feels
kind
like
of
that.
like that because, but again, so okay, I think I guess what I'm getting at here is that I know that, so for some reason I'm already picturing the lawyer people who say, Rosalie, you should know that the law is not being applied in this country in
Yeah,
practice.
exactly.
Like, that's exactly here the words the word they said here. People can see they no longer view as practicable recommendation. So the law exists to put somebody like him in jail, but in practice, it doesn't exist for Trump. That's what the Supreme Court said, and that's what this judge is doing also because
Right.
it's right. That's the whole thing. Now, um, and I see that the judge is not going to. He knows it's gonna be like reversed. So I have a question. I know the question is, are we in a mafia state already? Because Trump, why is it Detroit? I mean, it's a rhetorical question. So that's right. It's saying the Supreme Court is compromised. So
Yeah.
the head of justice in the U.S., technically the head of the court, right?
Right. Right.
The court, uh, capo dei capi, right? The head of
Hmm.
the, they are, they
Yeah.
are, they
They're
flip. So
completely. Yeah.
yeah. So that's right. So in this sense, yes, there's a way to kind of convict or put somebody like that in jail. Now, next question is, okay, this I'm not, and I never talk about, I rarely talk about other people's videos. I don't watch it very often, but I did watch a Cash Peters video where he said something like to the effect of Trump's mission in this life is not to face justice, it is to show us what's wrong with the system. And this is coming to mind here that
Hmm.
it seems like he escapes justice because it doesn't apply to him,
Right.
but that it shows that the things that have to be fixed. Do I
Exactly.
think that he's gonna he's I still think that he's not gonna get away with okay, maybe this is he gonna get away with the elect because that's a crime.
Yeah.
Is Trump gonna get away with the election stealing?
That I
No,
don't think so.
no,
No.
no. So
That's
and
what
the
it,
crime is much bigger, right?
yeah.
So
But even then, I mean, I hate to say it, but even then, it's still kind of what we've both seen too, that it's never jail. It's some sort of military facility that he can't leave. And, he's it's not a regular prison that you and I would go to for these kind of crimes.
mm, mm,
You know, I
mm,
wouldn't say it's a country club prison at all because it seems to me like a military facility. But also, I think at that point he's in a wheelchair, just anyway. He has lost all his ability to reason and think, and so when he does go there,
mm.
he's probably relieved to go.
Okay.
But I think that what we have to remember, and this is what I always cling on to, because we can put him in and he can go sit there behind bars. But for me, somebody like that, it's a narcissist. His downfall is witnessing his own downfall.
Mm,
They can't handle that.
mm, mm,
They
mm,
really can't. So for me, a narcissist downfall is almost better than him sitting there in a jail cell
mm,
because he'll have plenty of time to think about it when he's in his wheelchair in the
mm,
facility, but he has to watch and see and experience the downfall. So that he will, to me, experience, but
mm,
he just won't experience sitting in the jail cell.
mm,
So I want to see that more than anything because I really want him to see everything being taken away from him. That's going to kill him more than sitting in a cell somewhere.
mm. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So, all right. All right. But so that's it, right, Karina, for this.
Hmm.
All right. So let's go to the next topic. Okay. So as we were discussing this came. I remember this that a few days ago this dropped. It was sort of under the radar, and this is that Jack Smith transferred Mar-a-Lago documents case to U.S. Attorney's Office. Special Counsel Jack Smith formally withdrew from the Mar-a-Lago documents case on Friday, referring the ongoing prosecution of Trump's two co-defendants to federal prosecutors in the Southern District of Florida. Smith formally dropped charges against Trump in both of his federal cases in November, dismissing them without prejudice while citing Justice Department policy that prohibits prosecution of sitting presidents. So the thing that I thought was significant is that basically he's transferring the evidence, the documents, right? So the documents,
Hmm.
all the research that he has done, it's now in custody of the U.S. Attorney's Office. So
Hmm.
I think that that was, and then when we pause here, Corinne's like, I know it's a big deal. So immediately what I thought is that this is going somewhere. He knows that what, so the question is, what is going to happen to the documents that that Jack Smith just transferred to the U.S. Attorney's Office? It's documents meaning all the evidence, it looks like, right? For
Right.
the case. So, okay, so let's ask. So what is going to happen to the evidence that Jack Smith has just transferred to the U.S. Attorney's Office in Florida? It always shows me, and he probably knows this, Jack Smith does, that this connects to what's happening now in the election. There's evidence of it's not disconnected. It's
Right.
connected. That's what I feel like. That that somehow I feel like Jack Smith has evidence that Trump has in fact sold or done something to these documents. So some
Yeah.
of them at least. So there's I think it's an ongoing conversation, it's an ongoing transaction.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. That's what I get to. It's not over.
mhm.
He's preserving the evidence. It's not over.
And so I have a question. This evidence, will it be used soon or later in a different case, what's going to happen to this evidence? And where or is the public ever going to see this evidence? What's going to happen to it? Let's see. Okay, I see
Yeah.
Biden's like connecting all of this. Somehow it shows me it is connected to the current election situation. Oh, because the say if it in fact is treason, right? That there he has worked for, in other words, he has worked to push forward the
Right. And I can actually even see a document maybe in there that to win him this next election. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He had all this stuff leading up to it before. So it is all connected. It's connected with all the elections.
Wow, interesting. Okay, interesting. All right. Okay. So interesting. Okay, so yeah, so it's a no, Rosie, it's an ongoing. It's like
Yeah.
it's ongoing, but it's not. It shows
It,
me when you cook something, you could pause the cooking and then come back another day. It doesn't mean that it's spoiled.
right.
It's just
Exactly.
half cooked, and it could be frozen, and when you defrost it, it could be continue. It's
Yeah.
not over yet. Okay, so that's what I got.
No.
Okay, all right. So
Yeah.
let's pause here. All right, and then move to the next thing. So this is something that Karina sent me, right, Karina? So she
Hmm.
can you if you want to go ahead and share
Okay.
the story.
Um,
So how you got
yeah.
this?
I saw this morning and it really stood out to me because we had talked a little bit about, the terrorist attacks and if they were benefiting Trump. And then I see this morning and it's like, of course, we did say they're benefiting Trump. And then look at this. It says, after the deadly terror attack in New Orleans, the Louisiana, I'm sorry, Louisiana governor, then it says to read more, but at the bottom you can see, he goes on to say, the only way to protect people from evil is to crush it. And believe me, Inauguration Day can't come soon enough because the one person who understands that is Donald Trump. So Fox News is already putting out the narrative that he's the only one that can get rid of these terrorist attacks
Mm,
and handle them because that's what they want you to believe. They want you to believe, to be in fear until this man, the savior of us all,
mm,
comes in and crushes it. It's such BS, people. It's such BS. There is no one person that can save you from everything. It has to be, first of all, a group effort. And he's not the one that would do it. He's
mm,
the one that's helping create this chaos. So, and to see this on Fox News just tells me everything I need to know about the terrorist attacks.
mm, mm,
It's for that reason and that reason alone. And then what Rosie and I were talking about too is that is another way that if he did come in, that he could declare martial law on day one.
mhm. Yeah, so when Karina was explaining this, she was showing this, I also got that, the whole thing with this drone situation. I think that those people and all those like it feels like all these attacks are somehow designed to benefit Trump so that he can come in and say, "Oh, now we need a martial law. There's random criminals, there's this and that," and then create this like, well, yeah, I guess is it martial something like that. So the question here again is he going to succeed in doing this? Let me ask, okay, does he have, what are
Yeah.
the plans that why is this being discussed on Fox News? What are the plans? Oh, they're preparing the population or their voters to say, "Oh, look, there's evil people and Trump is doing something about it." I still think that the whole thing is this authoritarian government where they will arrest anybody who knows the truth about the election if they
Mhm.
were to go through. And that's why they're so concerned with all the dates. And they're like, because imagine it's like this whole thing of you committed a huge crime. You just did this whole thing, and now you need to create this climate of fear because you can't let those people speak. And this is why when people say, like, they say that some such and such channel said this and that, and I say I don't do look at whatever other people said. This is a thing that I think that this is so unrealistic to think that Trump or whoever is going to be like, oh, he's going to come in and And oh yeah, then they're gonna be impeached. It's like, oh, he's been impeached before, nothing happened. So he can't just get to power. He can't. Because if
Right.
he does, then I mean, I don't, who knows, right? But I just,
Yeah.
well, first of
It's
all, I don't see him
10
at
times
all. But
harder. Yeah.
it's just the idea that there's like we're in this sort of like a normal situation. It's not normal at all. Okay.
Mm-mm,
So
mm-mm.
they have really bad plans and they haven't announced them. They have talked about it. So, okay, so this is why, but it's just to show again how and going back to the thing that I did yesterday that I barely remember, the well channeling thing. I feel like if they really said to not go with the conversation of the mainstream because it's almost completely designed to claim victory for Trump,
Right.
right? And even him to design to kind of say, oh, everybody, it just seems like, right? It doesn't feel genuine to me. The
Mm-mm.
information
Not
space.
at all.
So, okay, well,
Yeah.
that's it. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
All right. Okay. So that's it, right, Karina? That's it for today. All
Yeah.
right.
That's plenty for
All
today.
right. Okay. So have a good night, y'all, and I'll see you
Hmm.
tomorrow. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.